Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with John Carter, the visionary and CEO behind Silver Bullet Mines. How are you today?
I'm very well, Tracy, and you?
I am enjoying reviewing your most recent
Awesome.
acquisition announcement because you talk about and reinforce that discussion we had recently about how your vision was a spokes and hub model that you gained insight from your years in aviation. How about we start with your model first and then let's hit the news flow?
Tracy, I just felt it made a lot of sense for a junior mining company or a mining company in general to try to best utilize the amount of money it has available in order for it to advance its projects. And of course, and therefore, protecting its shareholders. So I looked at the hub and spoke model, or we did, looked at the hub and spoke model and said, okay, the aviation industry uses it for a reason. Dallas, Fort Worth, Chicago, New York, Atlanta. They feed things into the hub and then just distribute everything from the hub. Well, why not do that in the mining industry? We're in an area in Gila County where historically there's been over 600 mines. So, and a lot of small, high value production units, and I'm talking about high grade, and that made some unique in that area. So why not go in and have your hub, which in our case is our mill and our assay facility, and have that as the hub where you feed in from these different mines. And right now we actually have 10 under our control that we have within a 30-mile radius that we can bring material in from any of those mines at any time based on what we're doing and continue to develop on the other hand as we're going along. So the whole idea of the hub and spoke model is it enables us to go out and look at other mines and other properties in the area. And because we have a facility, a fully functioning facility, it enables us to go out, take samples, not wait for a month to get an assay back, take it in the morning, have our assays back in the afternoon, go out and take a ton or five, put that through our mill and run it to determine recoveries, metallurgical data that we need. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We look at a lot more than the 10 we have. Not all of them pass muster with what we have. So what we do is we have the ability to be able to select carefully, make these decisions very quickly because we have the capability of the people and the facility that enables us to do that. The other thing that we have that I think that makes us truly different is our people in Arizona have been there all their lives. They know the mining area. So when they start looking at something, when they start looking at a piece of property that might be of interest, they're quite familiar with it. Maybe have worked it in the past. Maybe their grandfather had worked it. So they enable to go in and look at it, and we can make very, very quick decisions. Now that works for us in two ways. Number one, it allows us to go out and be able to pick something up like that, not have to wait and go through all the ramming and jamming. But it also gives us the ability to be patient. Because we have 10 great properties, we ran material from another one last week, checking it out to see if it would fit with our model. And our model is very specific. It has to be within a certain area, it has to be a certain grade, it has to be a certain commodity, and it has to be able to be recovered in our mill. So that's what we try to do. And we look at them every day of the week. A new comes to us and looks at us because we are very unique in the entire industry, not just in Gila County or in Arizona, but how many juniors, and you're in this industry a lot, Tracy, so you know what I mean. How many of them have what we have? And by the way, own every last piece of equipment you're looking at. Everything there, it may not be pretty, but it's ours. And we're proud of the fact that we can do that.
I think one misconception people have is that Silver Bullet Mines is just silver, but you're actually silver, gold, and copper. So
Oh.
can you talk to us a little bit more about these 10 spokes and how you're actually processing more than just silver?
We have right now, and we're looking to expand our mill at the moment, right as we speak, and also put in extra circuit to be able to recover some of these other minerals and metals and minerals. But with gravity, anything that's specific gravity oriented, you can recover through gravity. So if you look at gold or silver or lead or any of the copper or any of those, they have a very specific gravity. So, and the higher the gravity, specific number, then it's going to be the best for recovery. Gold, as an example, has an SG of 19 something. Silver is, I think, 11.4 and lead's 10.3, or the other way around. And so that enables us to be able to do it. But our mines also have a lot of the other minerals, like copper as an example. Plus, it's got gold and silver. So we can go in and recover the gold and the silver and some of the copper and the lead, because again, lead is high in specific gravity, and eliminate the others. But what we're doing now is we're going to double this capacity of our mill, and we're going to add in a circuit so we can start to recover some of those other minerals that we're missing right now. So that is ongoing as we speak. Engineering is being done as we speak, and we're ready to start, doing that as we move forward.
When I was speaking to your associate, Peter Clausey, the other day, he said, we tell people all the time we're an M&A play. And you just announced two new acquisitions, or number 9 and number 10 spoke on the Silver Bullet Mines hub of Columbia Mine and the Gold Queen Mine. Can you talk to us a little bit more about why these are so exciting? Because there was a very large company that owned one of these assets previously.
Well, this was predominantly these properties. There's actually 2 or 3 other little ones that we did that are as a part of it in that group, but the main ones are the Columbia and the Gold Queen, and those historically were actually copper mines, and very well developed copper mines, historic resources on it, not compliant 43-101, but historic resources that have a great deal of potential, not only for mining it, but also to expand and make it 43-101. The reason why we like this one, we've been trying to get this one for 10 years or more, maybe 12 years now. But again, we have the gift of patience. Now the opportunity came along for us to pick it up at a reasonable price, and our cost, $2,400 a year to pay the taxes on it. That's it. It enables us to do it as opposed to buying it for $1 million 10 years ago. So we have the added value of patience and time. These are great properties. Again, they were owned by a major that I think they started mining it in 1915, I believe it was, and ran through till 55. Then they were bought out by Freeport-McMoRan back at the turn of this last century, and a lot of their properties were dropped. They went, and they sat there, and now we've got them. We did the same thing in Idaho. Idaho is a perfect example. In Idaho, in 2015, we tried to buy the mine that we have in Idaho. We tried to buy it. The gentleman who owned it, very nice old gentleman, wanted $5 million and a 5% NSR. I said, it's probably worth $5 million, but how are we ever going to be able to get a 5% NSR through? And he said, well, that's it. Good. Go do whatever you have to do, and away we go. Scroll forward 5 years. Mr. Weatherby, nice guy, in his 90s, passed away, which it was 90 something years old. And his grandson came to us and said, are you still interested in the property? We said, yes, of course we are. What are you asking for it? He said, we were told it was worth between $350,000 and $400,000. We said, sold. So we took $5 million and a 5% NSR, bought it for $375,000. We split the difference with them, and we owned the property outright. We have title registered with what's it called in San Francisco, the title company, Stewart Title. So those are the kind of things that we try to do. We're trying to be patient, but also generate revenue while we're doing that. And it enables us to make these decisions, move forward, and advance this company. And if one of them doesn't work out, we've got 9 others to back us up. And that's the whole idea, is to build something here that's not based on the next drill hole, but on quarterly results and returns and making money, period.
So in addition to owning your own equipment, owning your mill, and of course your assay laboratory, you also are actually selling already. Can you tell us a little bit more about how it's going with your offtake client that you have currently with your Arizona project?
Right now we have one contract in place that's a non-exclusive contract, and we're working with a major commodities broker as we speak to go into a long-term arrangement. As you know, we've announced that we have a letter of intent in place, and we hope to have that finalized this week. He was at our property on Thursday, this past Thursday. They love what we're doing, and they want to get involved in this, not only with us in Arizona, but also to help us work and develop the Idaho property. So that is significant. And I think that's what people don't get. These take a long time to develop. People say, why are you doing? The person we're dealing with now, the group we're dealing with right now, they'll take whatever we got whenever we got it. Now, they are a lot more expensive on the processing side than when you get into a long-term contract, which makes sense, but they are a means to an end for us. They are allowing us to develop our processing, generate some revenue, and keep pushing the rope uphill, if you will, a little bit at a time as we make advancements in our process and in our development phase. So we now have 5 shipments with them as we speak. One we've completed. It was our waste rock and the low-grade material, and we were pleased with the outcome of that. Not overjoyed, because I would love to if we found nice big nuggets of doré bars sitting in the middle of it, but that's the way it goes. Number 2 is better, and then 3, 4, and 5, and we also have number 6 shipment sitting on our loading dock right now. Now, the reason why it's on our loading dock is at the moment, with all the volatility in the market, has created a problem with concentrate buyers at the moment. If you're not a customer, a lot of concentrate buyers are not buying your concentrate at the moment. We're lucky we've got that ability, and we're also working with very credible people to do it. So this is allowing us to not only, we won't make as much money as if we had our 3-year contract, but remember, once you're in at 3 years, you're in for 3 years. So you better make the right decision when you're going forward, because it's in the best interest of the company to do it that way. That's why it takes longer. As I say, the people that I want to do the deal with, or we want to do the deal with, were on the property last Thursday. This is their second time to the property. So there's definitely serious interest in putting something together. It just has to be in the best interest, not only of them, but also of us and our shareholders.
You've recently been providing updates on your KT mine in Arizona and the gold silver vein that you have discovered. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that? Because you are also an exploration play on top of a development play.
Oh, very much so. And I don't think people understand that. We're just a little different. We want to generate revenue rather than going out and borrowing money from our shareholders and financings to explore. We'll generate revenue from the areas we know and use that revenue to explore the properties and build compliant resources. And the KT and the Super Champ are both very, very exciting opportunities for us. But you got to remember, they're different in a way. Both of them, one is silver with some gold, one's gold with some silver. It's just the fluke of geology in the area. But the KT mine is a narrow vein, 4 feet wide, but it'll run over an ounce per ton in that vein. The Super Champ is again another 4 to 8 foot vein, and it'll run as high as 30-ounce silver with maybe a small 2-3 grams of gold. So, but they're also not going to be able to give us the volume you really need in many cases. It's volume that you'll have to work on. And what I mean by volume is, we can go into a 4-foot vein, we can mine 50 or 100 tons a day. And that's great. So we can go and we can do very well with that. We can do the same at the Super Champ, which is the one that we're working on. We put 120 foot adit in. And, we're getting ready now to do some more work on it. And then we'll combine those to run our mill. Or we can look at like the last one we just picked up, which has the capability to provide us with 250 tons a day of high-grade gold, silver, and copper. So, and that's, again, goes right back to our hub and spoke. Having that mill and the facility there available to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it allows us to be able to make these decisions and move very quickly on the decision process. We signed the deal on the Columbia, a Gold Queen 3 weeks ago, and we're already working on it. So, and that's what being light on your feet and we're nimble enough to make these decisions quickly and move on, good or bad.
Great team, great project. And of course, we have revenue coming in now. What should shareholders be looking forward to in this next quarter or two?
Oh, in the next quarter, they should start to see, obviously, they'll start to see regular shipments of material revenue to um, a different client, but it'll also include some direct ship ore. And I think you might have seen our press release, the last one before this one. We've already signed a letter of intent to start providing direct ship ore, where we don't even have to put it through the mill. It enables us to grind it down to a quarter inch, and we'll direct ship it because the grades are so good. And that's one of the things we've been working on and should have completed this week and next week. The letter of intent's already in place, been announced to the public, so it's out there. Now we just have to put in some of the numbers that needed to be put in to finish it off. So that's what they're going to see. They'll start to see, well, I hope, as long as everything goes well, touch wood, you're going to see a major increase in revenue coming into the company and some other developments that are coming down the pipe.
Silver, gold, copper. For those of you interested in finding out more about this great team and great project, go to the following website. Thank you so much for joining us today, John.
Thank you very much for having me.